Hello there. I read Storm of Steel, the 1920 memoir by the German officer Ernst Jünger about his experiences in World War I. Oranville. In December 1914, 19-year-old Ernst Jünger and the eager men of the 76th Infantry Regiment arrive in the village of Oranville, France. The first explosion dampens their spirit. Trench warfare is miserable. They are on guard duty a lot, and they only get 2 hours of sleep each night. The cook arrives with only vegetables. From Bazancourt to Atonchatel. In February 1915, Ernst is one of the few sent southwest to an officer training course in Rocouvance, France. It's like a free-spirited university campus. In March 1915, he returns to the 76th Regiment, which has already suffered heavy losses. The regiment is conveyed north to Belgium, to the village of Herne. On March 29th, Ernst celebrates his 20th birthday. In April 1915, a friendly Belgian cafe owner invites Ernst to Easter and refuses payment for drinks. Then the regiment marches southwest through several villages and arrives in Aton-Chatel, France. Les Éparches. The 76th Regiment begins bombing. They learn they have captured enemy lines and guns. They enter the trenches and advance northwest to Les Éparches. French corpses have been lying around for months. They are led by Colonel Gustave von Oppen. Artillery shells are fired all around them. Ernst is wounded by a splinter and is transported to a hospital. Douchy and Monchy. Ernst recovers from his injury in 2 weeks and spends several months in a reserve battalion in Hanover, Germany, and attends a course in Durban-Ritz, Germany. In September 1915, Ernst rejoins his 76th Regiment in Douchy, France. It's a restful place. Then the regiment marches north to Monchy, where additional reserves are quartered. It's mostly in ruins from previous battles. In the surrounding trenches, the soldiers enjoy hunting for rats. Trench mortar bombs are unpleasant to endure. Trench warfare day by day. In the trenches outside Monchy, many troops are shot, injured, and killed left and right. The trenches are filled with rainwater and mud and collapse inward. On Christmas 1915, the enemy English set a Christmas tree on their parapet, but the 76th Regiment shoots it down. Throughout January, February, March, and April 1916, many more are killed. The overture to the Somme offensive. In April 1916, Ernst goes west to Croisiat for an officer's training course. In June 1916, Ernst returns to his regiment and learns the enemy is preparing something big. Ernst and his companions sneak right up to the English trenches and are nearly discovered and crawl back. The regiment endures multiple chlorine gas attacks. Guillemot. In August 1916, the 76th Regiment heads northwest to Comblain, on the front lines of the Battle of the Somme. The place smells like dead bodies. The battlefield is just shell holes. The village of Chillon-Mont has been reduced to powder. At a cellar door, Ernst is shot in the leg, and he is taken to a hospital. He's put back into the line the next day and learns most of his company has been killed. It was a miracle he wasn't present that day, but he vows to be worthy to have been their comrade. This was intended to be the decisive end of the war. Entire battalions have been destroyed over worthless strips of land. At Pierre-Saint-Val, the regiment goes southwest to Brandebourg, and Ernst resides in a house with a man, his wife, and daughter. In November 1917, Ernst is part of a scouting party. He crawls through shell holes, but he is shot through the legs and taken to the hospital for 2 weeks. Since he can't walk well, he serves as an observation officer for a short while. Ernst goes northwest to rejoin his regiment at Frenat, and they celebrate Christmas 1916 together. In January, Ernst receives the Iron Cross for his valor and attends a company commander's course. The Somme retreat. In March 1917, Ernst is back with his regiment. The enemy raids and shells them. Many are wounded and killed. The Germans decide to retreat. Colonel von Oppen tasks Ernst with leading the regiment through destroyed villages, and they end up quartered in La Haucourt, in the village of Frenois. In April 1917, Ernst sets up an observation post near Fresnoy, but it's blown up, so they work in a cellar. The company is shelled, and there are many casualties. At the end of April, they are relieved to go and rest. Against Indians. In May 1917, the company marches to the Siegfried Line. In June 1917, the enemy approaches. Ernst's company asks them for passwords and shoots at them. They inspect the wounded enemy in the grass and discover they are troops from India. Langenmark. In July 1917, the regiment is relieved to Cambrai, a sleepy village of retired people and millionaires. Ernst stays with a jeweler and his wife. Then the regiment stays in Belgium for some time. Then they return to battle. Ernst finds his brother has been severely injured and helps him to safety. Ernst dislikes hiding in a cold, wet hole, but duty and honor keep him there. Rogneville. In July 1917, the regiment is in the quiet village of Doncourt. They march north to the line outside Rogneville. The trenches have chalk walls and are filled with lice. They have limited rations. In August 1917, they cut through enemy wire. In September 1917, Colonel von Oppen asks Ernst to lead a raid and return with prisoners. They sneak in, encounter time bombs, and run back. Flanders again. In October 1917, they march to Rousselara, a village where most people have moved to their cellars. Ernst stays in a house with a housekeeper, her daughter, an orphan girl, who duck to avoid bombs. Ernst is appointed intelligence officer. Ernst journeys around mud holes where dead men are partly submerged. The Battle of Cambrai. In November 1917, the regiment goes southwest to Reclus, where they are able to fish. They are then sent south to Balral for a counterattack. Ernst leads them into Dragon Alley. They capture some English soldiers. They exchange gunfire and bombs. Ernst's helmet is grazed by a bullet. In December 1917, they are presented with awards for their services. At the Colzol River. In December 1917, the regiment passes through thick gas attacks and many die. Ernst takes leave for a couple weeks. In January 1918, Colonel Oppen leaves to lead a different regiment. In March 2018, the regiment is marched south to Rue-Namur. The Great Offensive. In March 1918, in Rue-Namur, a shell bursts among them. Over 20 are killed, and 60 are wounded. The regiment advances to enemy lines with a furious desire to kill. They engage in hand-to-hand combat, and Ernst kills multiple people. The English flee, and the regiment steals items from their dugouts. Ernst wears an English coat and is mistakenly shot by someone from his own side. Another bullet strikes the back of his head without injuring his skull, so he is taken to a German hospital. English Games. In July 1918, Ernst rejoins his regiment, and they march to Vauquois. They sit in dugouts. Many soldiers get sick from the Spanish flu. In July 1918, the regiment is in Pisa, and the English make gains against them. Many are injured and killed. My Last Storm. In July 1918, the regiment is staying in Echo-Dverve, and each night bombs are dropped on them. Ernst does drills with his men. During one August 1918 battle, he is injured to the chest. The regiment is surrounded and surrenders. Ernst urges them to keep fighting, shoots one, and runs. The medical corps carries him away, but some of them get shot too. He stays in the hospital. In September 1918, Ernst learns he has received the Pour le Mérite. It's noble to fight for your country. Germany lives. The experiences of World War I seem unpleasant. There are trenches filled with mud, dirt, and lice. He discovers the bodies of his friends ripped apart, and corpses that have been rotting for months. And he himself is injured a dozen times. Despite this, it's really quite fun to read. It gives you perspective that your own problems are really quite tiny compared to those problems faced by soldiers fighting in the trenches of World War I. It gives you hope that if a normal man can overcome these difficult challenges, then you can overcome your own challenges too. I greatly enjoy it, and I give it a 10 out of 10.